Right, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 38 of Baldur's Gate 3. We are standing exactly where we were at the end of the last episode, but with some important notes. Cleared out the whole inventory, sold a whole bunch of stuff, bought some new specialty arrows for Alyssa, so you'll see here that we have a few more, specifically arrows of fire, arrows of ice, and I want to say some smoke powder bombs. And you might also notice that suddenly everybody's health is completely healed up. That's because I also bounced back to Wyrm's Crossing and I visited Wulbren and was able to buy a couple more of those grenades. Remember the grenades that we used against the Steel Watcher? Actually, I believe that Will might have those on him. Yeah, let's just give these over to Alyssa for now. But these are the grenades that absolutely ruin those Steel Watchers. I'm sure that they're here somewhere. I just gave them to her. There they are. So these flash blinders were invaluable, and I only had the one, so I wanted to get a couple more. And it turns out it doesn't, I don't know if it's a bug or what, but when you transition between regions, it refills your health. Now, it doesn't refill anything else. It's not the same as taking a long rest, but everybody got all of their hit points back. I would normally consider that to be a little bit not balanced, but we were planning to take a long rest anyway, so that's what we're going to go do next. Let's pop back to camp and see if there's anybody that wants to have a chat, and otherwise we're going to go ahead and take that long rest. Okay, on our way in, Alyssa took note of this puddle of blood and said that there's a crumpled note scrawled in blood from Orin. Gortash's metal mannequins will not dance to your tune, they only dance to his. To set yourself against their steel is to invite domination. So why slice the strings of one when you might make one cut to sever them all? Seek the blackened heart of their foundry and tear it out. Then the lordling will play puppet, master no more, Orin. Orin, we are multiple episodes ahead of you. Wait, rescue Orin's victim. Right, that is Lae'zel. We found a letter from Orin explaining that striking down Gortash will be difficult with the Steel Watch protecting him. We should find the Steel Watch foundry and take it down. Hopefully the abductee is still safe. All right, time for our long rest. Yes.
Testament. Notum sit in Beator.
Notum sit in Beator.
Holy hells.
Introduce us to your friends.
Fina, Cirrus, arbiters for the hells, exemplars of justice.
Enough, Mizora. Where is my father? How do I save him?
How else? We bargain. Sisters.
Infernos contractus te vocamus. Infernos contractus te vocamus. Infernos contractus te vocamus.
Your contract, Will. Signed in blood, forged in fire, bound in bone, but not unbreakable.
Let's just listen.
Yet no contract is ended without sacrifice, Will. The cost must be paid. Will Ravengard, a choice is before you. Option 1. I show you the way to your father. I guarantee him no harm except that from you and your allies. And And you pledge your soul to me and the Archdevil Zariel in a pact eternal. Option 2. I break your pact, and you are freed from your duty. Your father dies by his enemy's hand, and Baldur's Gate loses its greatest champion. Name your sacrifice.
Bloody Zariel! I won't let her take Will.
Silence, Karlak.
Mizora, you asshole!
Choose.
Okay, I feel like we know where his father is. We found a document in the last episode saying that he was in the submarine base, or at least that's what I thought. I might have misread it. What will happen to Will's powers if he breaks the pact? Save your father. The city will need him to help rebuild. Do the right thing. Give your soul so that your father can live. Break the pact. You deserve your freedom. Let your father die when the city's free. You can take his place. So that last one is a non-starter, as is do the right thing. Give your soul. I am very curious about what will happen to Will's powers. However, that doesn't really feel like the important thing here. If Will turns into a regular, normal human being, but we save his father, I feel like that's a price that he is willing to pay. So although I'm very curious in this, I don't think it's appropriate to ask. I don't know. I would actually prefer a stay silent and to just go with whatever Will says. Since I'm being asked for my opinion, break the pact, Will. You deserve your freedom.
You damned wretch. Father. Do it. Break the pact.
Fiat Ita.
Fiat ita. Anima ad beator.
Didn't think you had it in you. Seems my boy's all grown up. And don't go fussing about your father. You made your choice. You knew the terms. You know what? I think I'll stick around. Not for the greater good, you understand. Just for the entertainment.
Well, that's going to have some conversation tied to it. Immediate thoughts. Although Mizora is sort of sneering over the fact that, you know, now Will has caused his father to die, I did notice the interesting clause in her contract that she promised the safety of Will's father absent any action that Alyssa or the rest of the party might take, which leads me to believe that she wasn't going to kill him, but maybe he's going to be so violent because of the tadpole, the elder brain, or Orin, or any number of other inciting incidences that we'd have to kill him anyway. I don't think that that's going to be very comforting to Will, but I just do not believe that Will's father's fate was sealed once and for all, as in, you know, by this one and only conversation. Let's go have a chat, and I am going to just take note of the fact that Nightsong is back, and I want to talk to her as well. Hey, Scratch, do you have anything to say about this?
Hope you're keeping well, friend.
No, just completely fine. No issues.
Gods, I spent 7 years choked by Mizora's leash. And I spent 7 years hoping to break free. I never knew freedom could taste so bittersweet.
I did think that he never regretted taking the pact, but based on the different things that he said, it feels very complicated at minimum. I think that we try to focus on this. You are your own man now, Will. It's better this way. Here's my thinking on it. Under the pact, he was always going to be enslaved with Mizora. It did not in any way guarantee his father's safety or the fact that he was going to be detadpoled or anything else. And at least this way, one of the two of them has the benefit of free will and self-direction. It sucks the way, you know, that he feels he's going to lose his father. I'm not sure that I do accept that right now. Let's focus on you are your own man. It is better this way.
I have to believe that. I'm not the Hell's puppet in life. nor its warrior in death. The blade will be guiding his own hand. But freedom will be paid in my father's blood. Tomorrow, I celebrate my gain. Today, I mourn my loss.
A moment passes. In the stillness, you find a mote of tranquility.
The Raven Guard name now lives solely with me. I will make it count for something.
He's not dead yet. Maybe there's a way to save him.
I signed his life away before the Hell's Witnesses. It would be easier to drink the Styx down to the last drop than to alter his fate. I'd be a fool to wish otherwise.
Okay, well, let's at least try. What's our next step then?
We obtain the final 2 nether stones and take back our minds and the city from the brain.
I don't know what other topics we might raise that wouldn't feel terribly tin-eared, but let's take a look.
Go on then.
Let's talk about our relationship. Yeah, let's let it sit there.
Will sacrificed his own father. A hard choice, but not one that is unknown in nature. At times a seedling must strangle the very tree that bore it, if it's to survive.
I did not know Duke Ravengard that well. But I am sure he would not want his son to become slave to Zariel for his sake. I am sure Will knows that. But we would do well to remind him when his days grow dark.
You sound like you speak from experience.
No one truly understands the weight of loss until they've worn it a while. There is no shame in sharing the load when you need to.
Similar to Will, I don't think there's anything to ask her.
Ask it.
No.
I can't believe Will's given up his soul to Zariel. For a father he fell out with ages ago. There's such a thing as being too good. Someone ought to tell Will Ravengard.
Okay, Karlach, there's been some developments on this topic. You might just want to get a quick rundown from somebody. I thought you were right there when it all went down, too, because you were talking at the time.
Will gave up his father to have freedom. An understandable decision. Sacrifices must be made after all. Especially if the old Duke's fall means his rise.
I hope you're here to discuss that contract you just signed. Agreeing to give away our greatest hope of salvation wasn't the wisest of moves.
Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, wait, oh, he suddenly wants to talk about the crown? According to Raphael, the crown destroyed an empire. Imagine what other evil could do. True. It's a fair trade. The hammer is more valuable to us than the crown. It offers us a chance of survival. That's not really why I took it. I said what Raphael wanted to hear. I have no intention of giving him the crown.
I'm glad to hear it. But you realize we can't just tell him we changed our minds. You signed an infernal contract, not some half-baked deal on the back of a napkin. If this scheme of yours fails, the crown of Karsus is Raphael's, whether you intended it or not.
Okay, well, it's already in the wrong hands. I get that his hands might be worse, but let's not pretend like everything was fine up until now.
Time and again, Will's plight reinforces my decision not to pursue the path of a warlock. It's one thing to make such a sacrifice in the pursuit of such a pack, but to do so in order to escape one. Truly, it leaves you with nothing.
Okay, Zariel is over here. Let's have a quick chat with her. Mizora.
Little Will's all grown up. I can't wait to see what trouble he gets into.
Not a child, you need to start treating him with respect, but she's never going to do that. I can't believe Will actually sacrificed his father. Hey, just between you and me, with Will standing right here, I'll note. You force Will to make an impossible choice, and also a deeply unfair one.
Impossible? My bargain was uncommonly reasonable. A single soul for the return of Baldur's Gate's most beloved Duke. A real bargain, I should think. I never thought the legendary Blade of Frontiers would surrender his father for freedom. Not very valorous, if you ask me. But what does a mean old devil like me know about heroes?
You've left Karlach alone. Don't you want her dead? What changed? I guess that's a fair question. Hey, give me a quick rundown of the Hells. Why don't we start at the top? We're already talking about Will. I don't get it. If Will isn't your warlock, why stick around and give him power?
The Absolutists worked a number on me at Moonrise. And you're the best hope I've got at payback. No one crosses the Hell's Children without getting scorched.
Boy, then antagonizing us all the time really helps out with that spirit of teamwork. You never told us how the Absolutists captured you.
Correct. I didn't. If you must know, I was scouting the cultists on behalf of Zariel. But those cursed shadows were thick enough to fell even a half-fiend. I woke in that damned pod. It kept my body sealed and my most powerful magic silenced. But a brave, kind, benevolent soul set me free. Gallantry isn't dead, after all.
And unsurprisingly brought us zero goodwill. I mean, she was just immediately back to her nasty tricks. You've left Karlach alone. Why didn't you want her dead? What changed?
Ugh, you are an inquisitive one. I'd have thought you'd figured by now. Zariel found a new use for an old battle axe. The dead three in that bulging brain of theirs are a threat to more than this trifling city, you know. Savor her company. Who's to say when Zariel might change her mind? My mistress can be so capricious.
What can you tell me about the Hells?
The 9 Hells of Beator. Each its own domain, each with its own archdevil to rule it. I call the first Hell my home, Avernus. My mistress Zariel's realm, a torrid battleground split by the bloody waters of the Styx. How I adore it, the delicious agony of it all. The other 8, well, they are pleasures unto themselves. Perhaps I'll show you myself, if I deem you worthy.
Sounds like a charming road trip with no strings attached. What do I need in return? I don't want to get involved in any exchange of anything with her. And do I want her out of here? Here's the thing about Mizora, and if I ever call her Zariel, that's just going to happen. Mizora. Like she just said, having that elder brain kicking around and tadpoling people, including very nearly almost her, that doesn't work to her best interest. This is a case where the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and I don't necessarily want to kick her out. I cannot possibly imagine that she thinks that spilling the beans on what we're doing at camp, how much ale and bread we're, consuming, is somehow going to be of interest to Orin or Gortash, or that she's going to be brokering in that information. And if she was working with Raphael, I mean, Raphael, again, already has that information. So who is she going to report to? I feel like our mission here is we keep our enemies close, and she just gets to hang out here. I guess I could say this, but I don't know what on earth I would want to get in return.
Why? I'm supplying Will with every scrap of his infernal power. I've paid my dues many times over. I tell you what, when the time comes to squish that big baddie of a brain, I'll lend you a hand.
Right. Perfect. I don't trust Mizora. I don't like Mizora. I don't want to go on vacation with Mizora. However, if she's willing to show up and give us some power to help stop the Elder Brain, that seems like a deal worth having, provided that that's where the deal begins and ends. She doesn't get anything else from us. There's no more will on the table. But no, this aligns our interests, and let's do that. Yeah, so Nightsong is back here, where she used to be.
Ally mine. We are reunited once more. I was just reviewing our fight against foul Leroican. Your moves and mine. The victory was soundly won. Don't you think?
It went great. Why are you so hesitant about it? Though I was a little worried about you afterward, in truth. Yeah, let's ask her what's up.
Set your mind at ease, my friend. Dame Aylin is more well now than she has been this past century. Enjoy the spoils of your victory. Spin memories of our prowess in your mind like silk floss. Now, I must inform you of my news. There is a Selûnite enclave, not far from fair Baldur's Gate. The Absolute's armies have left them in sore need of aid. Aid I will provide, in the Moon Maiden's name. But fear not, when the time comes for you to face the foe of foes, Dame Aylin will stand at your side. Go well, friend. The city will be saved. We will be certain of it.
Okay, so she's gonna go help out her friends, but says, I'll be back when you need me. I'm pretty comfortable with that. I have to say, I was really hoping that she was going to join as a full party member. It feels very likely that her party class would have been Paladin. And yeah, it's a little bit late to be bringing newbies on board, but I would have loved to have her as a full party member. I'm going to assume Withers has nothing new to say.
Fate, dost thou require a new ally?
No, he's just a passive observer. And then we've got Volo, who has joined us as well.
It is splendid to see you again, my friend. If you hadn't saved me from that mob, I'd be penning a guide to the afterlife based on first-hand experience. Perhaps you would hazard a guess as to why the mob turned on me?
Perhaps you pissed off Orin, criticize Archduke Gortash, speak out against the cult of the Absolute. I just assumed decades of spreading lies and misinformation had caught up with you. That would actually be my first guess. However, let's not be jerks about it. Did you speak out against the cult of the Absolute? They have eyes everywhere. I'm remembering the guy that was sort of leading the mob against him with all of the tattoos and stuff. I'm going to go with the cult of... And he was tadpoled, so I'm going to go in here.
It is not the eyes that I fear. It is the intelligence behind them. The Absolute is merely the outward form of something far more insidious. The Lord of Murder has returned. As he did 100 years ago, Baal has set his accursed sights on Baldur's Gate. And his temple runs red with the blood of the innocent. Orin is his chosen. And like Sarevok before her, she is able to take on the savage form of the Slayer. If the Slayer is not stopped, it will slaughter every living thing in this city. As one of those things, I'm particularly eager to stop it. And there is a way. I have a study of the beast, penned by the wizard Irenicus himself. It contains all of the knowledge needed to slay the Slayer. Now I just need a brave adventurer, willing to face Baal's chosen, and to put the knowledge into practice.
And these are unedited notes, Volo. You didn't touch them up in any way. I will do it. What are the odds that this is Orin, though? I'll do it.
Wonderful! I can scarcely think of anyone more suitable. It will serve you well. A study of the Slayer, penned by John Irenicus. It's one of a kind, so do try to keep it away from the inevitable bloodbath,
Let's start at the top. What is the Slayer?
The Dream Eater. It is said the children of Baal are claimed throughout their sleep, ever disturbed by visions of a life of bloodshed and terror. Once they have seen too much, once these dreams drive their minds to break, they are beset by the Slayer. It is a beast of unspeakable violence that consumes all in its path, including the soul of the one who is host to it.
Tell me about Irenicus. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, Irenicus was the primary antagonist of Baldur's Gate 2. I remember something about him, but my character knows nothing.
A genius. Exiled from his home in the elven paradise of Soldanessala, when he attempted to seize the power of life itself, he instead turned his magnificent mind to murder on a grand scale. That is how he came to crave the power of the Baal spawn. He saw them not as living things, but as tools for his own machinations. In the end, though Irenicus took the form of the Slayer for himself, it was a Baal spawn who thwarted him, the same that saved Baldur's Gate.
He was a super cool guy, too. I'll need more than a book to face Baal's Chosen. This is a daunting task. I should begin my preparations now. I've already slain Merkel's Chosen. I can handle this. Why don't we... Gosh. I mean, if he knew anything more, he'd say it. This guy never shuts up. So let's go with this is a daunting task. I should begin my preparations now.
I am a living witness to Baal's defeat those 100 years ago. So I know your battle against him is not futile. He can be stopped, but not all of those who stood against him survived. And those who did were never the same again. I wish you luck, my friend. And I hope that when I see you again, you'll be in one piece. 2 or 3 at most.
Well, I very much want to read this. Even though this child of Baal has thus far been squandering the gift of their unholy blood, it seems that Baal's lash is inescapable. The graven god now has besieged them with the Slayer, the Beast and Prophet, and when they turn, their mind is broken, more broken than all my torments could ever rend it to. I spent all this while testing the captive spawn with my experiments, trying to extract more of Baal's gifts from them, but they have brought the Slayer upon themselves. It seems that it manifests in moments of pure hatred, a divine hatred of those mortal blood. A divine hatred those of mortal blood cannot fathom. When the child of Baal hates in a way that pleases their lord, Baal himself descends upon them as his own avatar. Despite all the Baal spawn of Candlekeep has done to prevent Saravok's uprising, it seems Father must love them dearly indeed to intervene personally on their behalf. Perhaps, if I continue my routine of absorbing all of the divine essence I extracted while the spawn was my captive, I can force Baal's magics to quicken in my own blood, trick the fool god into thinking I'm one of his own children, thus may I tame the beast for myself. The book then continues with a detailed record of Irenicus's experimental attempts to transform into the Slayer. Yeah, let's head to sleep, I think. New day, new plans, hopefully heading over to a submarine base. I think everybody could use a drink. Let's see if we can... Oops. Can I take some of those out then? Hold on. There we go. 40 out of 40.
How did you? Oh, it's you. I must have let my mind wander. Enough for you to wander in. Forgive me. I am drained. Ever since you killed Ketherick and took his netherstone, the Chosen's control of the brain has been brittle. It's rebelling against Orin and Gortash fiercely. I suspected that when we took Ketherick's stone, the brain would begin to break free. Those brain quakes confirm that my suspicion was correct. I do not know what happens now when it receives their orders, and I do not dare guess.
You feel the Emperor's fear as if it were your own. An Elder Brain enslaved is one thing. An Elder Brain unleashed will be the end of everything.
Beautiful, isn't it? The mighty Prince Orpheus, contained in submissive slumber. Come. You may as well sit a while, now that you are here. Your company isn't unwelcome.
You seem troubled.
An accurate summary. I have found myself distracted of late. I'm haunted by memories. They are relentless. I can think of nothing. No one else.
Yeah, we saw a lot of information that they were very close. Also, she took very ill very quickly, and I still don't have a good sense on why. Balin, is it the Duke that's dead?
The very same. Duke Stelmane, as she was known in Baldur's Gate. You thought you were my first ally. Far from it. I have long sought the allyship of others. It is the only way to succeed. Though my relationship with Balin was different from my relationship with you.
How so?
In life, she was my business partner. Back when we ran the Knights of the Shield. A difficult task for a mind flayer. Duke Stelmane trusted me, and the city trusted her. I conceived the plot, but Balin took center stage. It was she who met with the merchants, politicians, and patriarchs. It was she who negotiated deals and signed off on agreements. Her rooms played host to the most important conversations in the city. Together, we brought order to chaos. At its height, everything that happened in that city went through the shield. Through us. I could not have done any of it without her. Just as I cannot do any of this without you. But now, she is gone.
I'm sorry for your loss. I'm tempted to offer another hug. The thing is, we are going to come to blows with this guy. I hope this isn't sarcastic. Do you need another hug?
I appreciate the offer, but I don't think it will help. What I feel is deeper than superficial cures can reach, and not entirely unwelcome. Most people think that mind flayers are soulless husks who feel nothing. I am glad you are not most people.
Give his hand a reassuring squeeze. There's nothing romantic here. It's just, I don't hate this guy. We have incompatible end goals, but this guy has had his own breed of suffering for a very long time.
You have shown me great empathy. We are closer now. Close enough, I hope, that I can ask you to reconsider your position regarding your physical form. I know it is no easy choice for you, but we will have a far better time ridding the city of Gortash if you accept just a touch of illithidness. Not to mention the Elder Brain itself. Our chances against it greatly improve the more illithid we both are. Another quake. The brain is rebelling again. I need to focus, and so do you.
Oh no. We just got out of our long rest and it just said stop the presses. I was waiting until after we took out the 5 seconds until after we took out the seal watch to go do this. We didn't stop the negative headline printing and our reputation around the city is in tatters. Well, I pushed that long rest as far back as I felt like I could because I felt like there might be a time limit and this is the choice that I made, so we're going to have to live with that. I had every intention of going there, but there were a whole bunch of guards down there, and I figured, hey, maybe we can stop the seal watch first. I wasn't trying to not do that. There was just no way to get downstairs. In retrospect, if I had that moment to do over, I think we would have tried the disguise kit to get down there, but I never even tried, so who's to say if it would work? Mizora gave Will a choice. He could agree to an internal pact with her and Zariel, and she would reveal where his father's been taken and ensure his safe return, which, again, I could have sworn we knew where that was. Or he could break his pact, dooming his father to die in Gortach's secret command center. Will broke the pact, choosing his freedom over his father's life. This is a very charming way to put it. We left our remaining concerns about the Duke behind us. Okay, we're trying to break Orpheus free. We do still want to talk with Nine Fingers. And Gale met with Mystra in the Outer Plains. She told him of the true nature of the orb, that it is of the Karsite Weave, a half-formed magic created by Karsus when he sought to become the god of magic. Mystra asked that Gale seize the crown and then return it to her, in exchange for which she will rid him of the orb. Claim the crown for himself, though, and the Karsite Weave would answer to him. Well, but we're not doing that second thing, and this is my goal for what we're going to do with the Crown of Karsus.
Will Ravengard, the stain of Baldur's Gate. To think your father's blood flows through those damnable veins.
Cordular Elta. By the nine hells, what are you on about?
Lady Mizora told me everything. How you slaughtered your own father. How you crave his power. How you mean to make the city bow to you and you alone.
That meddling ghoul. Elton,
Shut it! My family's duty is to Baldur's Gate. I won't have the Hell's Errand Boy poison my city!
Hold on. I believe Ravengard's still alive and I intend to save him. I think that we're going to start with this. Hold on. Just before we get into this... Wait, Jaheira? Yeah, hold on, Jaheira. Can you do some guidance for me? And maybe some resistance as well? Wait, that takes away guidance? Why? I guess, you know what? Who cares? Now, we have a special Baldurian one, but we have a lot of better persuasion option. I believe Ravengard's still alive and I intend to save him, which is literally what we're gonna go do right now. This is doable. We've got guidance. Do we want to do Voice of the Circle? It feels a little bit early, but this is why I put it on. This seems pretty important. I'm gonna do it. Maximum rolls, by the way. We've got some inspiration. Minimum rolls that time. It's a lot of inspiration to put into this. Will, I'm really trying to help you out, buddy. There we go.
Stand down. I believe you. The Battle Lord help me. What darkness has fallen upon us? Will, there's something you should know. On his way from Elturel, Ravengard sent a messenger with word of the cult. He knew about the Absolute. I thought little of it at first, but as usual, he realized the danger before anyone else did. He understood that if the cult would be successful in raising an army, Baldur's Gate would be doomed. And he knew that to protect the city, one trained in the ways of the champion would have to rouse the worm living beneath. If I'm not mistaken, that would be you.
Lady, you are dumping a lot on me at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Do you mean there's a dragon living under the city?
A bronze dragon, to be precise. He sleeps beneath us, even now, awaiting a hero to rouse him. The worm goes by many names. Ansor, the waiting storm, the heart of the gate. He promised Baldurin he'd protect the city if ever its existence was threatened, but just the once. Since then, the city faced countless threats, but the Baldurians overcame them all. There was never any need to call upon the worm. Until now. This is the greatest threat Baldur's Gate ever faced. Your father was right. We need Ansor's help. With him gone, the worm's awakening now falls to you.
Take this, the legend of Ansor. The bards call it a tall tale, but every last word is true.
Let it set the path before you.
I just want to say very quickly that I did not get into a fight with this woman in the street, and I burnt some inspiration because I felt like having an armed conflict in the middle of the city streets of Baldur's Gate, while you can see the Steel Watch milling around behind her, was only going to yield more conflict. Also, she was attacking us for not a very good reason. She was told by Mizora, but she was dead wrong about it, and I didn't want her to get actually dead over it. She was being misled, so it didn't feel right to have this fight. Now we've got a dragon that we're gonna go get. Like, this is just, it's a lot more than I thought it was gonna be. I thought I was just not having a fight with her. Your faith in Will is well-founded. We'll seek out the worm and ask for his help, almost certainly. No. We could ask him, but why don't we continue to take the temperature down? We can have this conversation later. Then again, it is about his father. Yeah, Will, what do you make of all of this?
Baldur's Gate stands on the brink of the abyss. We'll need all the help we can get. Let's awaken the worm and take back the city.
Ravengard's blood courses through your veins. Your father would be proud. I should go, gather allies. We'll join you in your hour of need. Free the worm. Let his tempest swallow the Absolute and its allies. May Lady Tymora smile upon you.
Unfortunately, now that woman is going to walk off screen. Mizora is going to do a persuasion check on her, and she's going to come at us with bloodlust in her heart again. that was such a turnaround. She was here. She was ready to put her life on the line to attack us in a 3v4 battle, a 3v6 if you count Citizen Snips in there as well. And then by the end of the conversation, she's swearing a blood oath to help us out. This was a lot for our first steps into the city.
Curse that rotten devil and her forked tongue, trying to set Eltan against me. She's a damnable inferno of chaos. What matters now is that Eltan saw sense, and we know our path forward. We'll finish what my father couldn't. We'll awaken Ansur, the heart of the gate.
Do you really think a dragon's been living under Baldur's Gate? Yes, because I don't think that woman made that up. A big enough dragon could annihilate scores of cultists. We need Answer's help. Ravengard's dead, and he's still got you running errand. What a daddy's boy. I'm not saying that. A big enough dragon could annihilate scores of cultists. We need Ansur's help.
Go on. Read the legend of Ansur. Then we can plan our next steps.
Could it be true Duke Stelmane allied... Wait, this is a sudden turn in the conversation. Did we even talk to him about our night dream? Sure, let's ask him about this. This is an altogether different topic. Duke Stelmane allied with the Emperor?
Mind flayers are like devils. They just sport tentacles rather than wings. Clever, manipulative, exploitative. The Emperor says he's a friend. I think we'd be fools to believe him. Maybe it's true. Maybe Stelmane allied with a mind flayer and subjected the city to their political will. Or maybe he made an offer she couldn't refuse.
Okay, that's enough for now. Let me just see if anybody else has any commentary on this.
Yes?
Nope, Jaheir is cool as ice.
Soldier.
Okay. What were we doing? That's right, we're gonna go to the submarine base. No, wait, we have to read the book. The Legend of Ansur. I really don't want to read this. Hold on, let's skim it. With a lightning shock, a true hero's spark flickers, the torches alight, and Worm's eye shall wake a glitter. So, probably some sort of lightning damage, and maybe lighting up all the torches. Oh, here we go. No, I'm reading the text, and it's actually right here. Something about sparks and torches, use lightning skills, question mark, you are. Oh, that's Ulrich Ravengard, I think. Only great hero can pass the trials and awaken Ansur. I hope a great hero or us. There's a little asterisk there. And the... oh, look at that! The entrance is in Wormrock's prison. We didn't go down there because I had no reason to do so. And now I'm super glad, because I think we would have pissed off a very sleepy dragon. You think I'm cranky before 8 a.m.
What's this of a true hero story?
We're gonna go have a conversation with a sleepy dragon after we go to the submarine base.
Get your gazette here! Only... Oh no. You're that nasty person from today's edition. Please, 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 please don't hurt me.
We're not growling at him. I'm just buying a paper.
Fine. Here's your copy.
I really prefer not to be scowling at him. Let's read what did we get published about us. Okay, horrifying clown illustration. Reports of ships sailing by night along Worm's Crossing beaches. What does that have to do with this nightmare? Feywild Circus struck by tragedy, Dribbles the clown killed and replaced by Absolute Spy. Yeah, that's true. And then we stopped the Absolute Spy, so we're the heroes of this story, correct? Visit the uncanny Feywild Circus in Worm's Crossing for a day of wholesome family fun, featuring Lucretius the Necromancer, Mummy Zara, and more. Man, they didn't pull their ad copy after the headline, huh? Murder in Baldur's Gate, The Mouth Investigates, Feywild Circus comes to town with famous Dribbles the Clown. Again. And Sharess's Caress, beloved stern librarian found dead in nearby Flophouse. Arrogant vigilantes brutally murder respected Thorm family. Oh, is that the nasty story? We didn't even make the front page? I feel kind of insulted, actually. We're bigger news than this clown.
Flymm Cargo. All imports and exports duly handled in accordance with the Trades Act as decreed by the Council.
This is locked. I'm gonna just take a quick... oh, hold on. This entrance might work better for us. Okay, can we get back there? I don't see a way that we could jump to this, though. No. Well, hold on. We might be able to get onto that roof. Hold on. We might be able to get up on the roof. Because I'm feeling that from here she can make it to that balcony. No, it says path is interrupted. There we go. Now we've got a couple doors, but I think the top one. So if she can go in... Okay, someone... Oh, hold on. What are these? Ripper. Gristle. Cuddleface. I need to have a sense of what they can and cannot see. So, Alyssa does have Speak with Animals. And... If we could talk with these folks, I don't really want to have a fight with them. No, it doesn't look like they're conversational. Wait, Will, can you just close the door for us? Okay, I just don't want any guards or anybody else seeing. Okay, now everybody's inside. If we must have a fight about this, I would like to wait until the next turn if we possibly can. So let's all end turn. Let's get this started. The enemy is surprised, which is good. I don't know why anybody else would be alarmed. We shut the door. This should all be fairly quiet here. Okay, I don't want Alyssa... Yeah, no, hold on. We don't want that happening. Alyssa, let's do a... I don't know if we need an ensnaring strike. How often can we do this? Oh, it does take up a level 1 spell slot. Yeah, I don't feel like we need to do a lot of that right now. Let's lay down a Hunter's Mark on Ripper. And then we're going to shoot Ripper. And that's her turn.
War is an old woman's game.
Battle favors the fearless.
Will is in the fight. Karlach is not yet in the fight. Yeah, she's actually still sneaking. She was behind the post. Can we attack from under here? She can, I think. I'm clicking and that is not happening. I'm not sure that it knows how to get her out from underneath the chair there, the ramp. What are we saying that she can't do? I'm very confused. There. And then for our bonus action, not a lot, actually. I don't think this is worthy of a rage. Jaheira. So, Jaheira, again, I feel like we can probably deal with this fairly quietly. There is a dead person over there, I'm just now noticing. Dead goblin. That is not currently my concern. Let's run up and see if we can... She doesn't get a lot of attacks compared to some others. Critical hit on her 50%. Yeah, and then that's actually her whole turn. So let's just have her be back here. Will has used his action already for his bonus action. Let's, I guess, challenge the duel this guy. He's saved. The reason I want to do that is that if he moves away from Karlach, Karlach would get an attack of I feel like that's his turn now. Corvus Corvus, let's do a bad omen on... Actually, let's do a bad omen on Snap. Awesome. And then, as we learned last time, there's a few cool things that he can do that don't cost him an action. Bonus action and bonus disengage. Let's actually just fly up here. I don't even think we need to do a dash. I'm not sure that we need Snips to, like, take a hit for us right here. And I kind of doubt that these guys have anything resembling an area effect attack. But let's just have him hang out back here. He has his role, but not just at the moment. Jaheira is here. I am thinking we don't want to take a lot of damage coming in here. Can we do something to lock these guys down? Spike growth is a regular favorite. But then again, it's going to be hard for us to get to them as well. Our whole team gets to go first, so why don't we see what we're going to deal with after Karlach hits this guy with her axe a couple times. And then I think that we'd want to pull Karlach. Yeah, why don't we get her right here? And then if this guy tries to come up, she gets an attack of opportunity on him. Grasping Vine is a bonus action. Oh, wow. Is that a level 4 spell slot? I don't want to spend a level 4 on this. I was really hoping to, yeah, sneak in a little quietly. How about a level 1 Entangle on them? Awesome. So we did get one of them. That's her action, unless she's got a bonus that we want to do. Yeah, I'm not ready for that Grasping Vine. That's too expensive for this encounter. Maybe we will have Jaheira come up and join the rest of the team. From Melissa's perch, let's target the one that's not entangled. And, by the way, the one that we're going to get extra attacks on, or extra damage. Extra bonus from Curse of the Dire Raven. Also, at 99%, we will certainly sneak attack. Oh, and that put him down. However, with that kind of percentage, we should really have her mega attack on, where she does a lot of extra damage. Yeah, 75%, I will take this. That's her turn. Will. This guy, again, locked down. So Will... Well, but I think that we can just hit him with some Eldritch Blast. Are we too far away from this? Maybe I should have tried that first. But yeah, the further back that this guy is locked down, he's either got to choose to walk on the vines or walk past Karlach, and neither one of those is going to go real well for him. Corvus, let's do that Dire Raven trick on this guy. Corvus, you are my best friend. Snips can't quite get here. Yeah, not enough movement. Let's have Snips come up here. I'm all about having Snips, like, go after their tendons, but I don't want him to go up and just take a random hit if we can avoid it. Jaheira. Let's... Yeah, I think just regular attack. All right, that guy goes down. And the nice thing about Karlach is that she doesn't have to walk in the vines. She's got her crossbow here as well. And then Alyssa, with her super attack on. Okay. Jaheira can turn off the vines. And now we're good. All right, let's get everybody back together. Now, I think that we should probably still sneak. Not because I'm a fan of slow, but I just want to make sure that nobody on the outside of this building gets any weird ideas that there's some sort of a crime robbery happening. All right, let's wander around, and we're just going to steal whatever we can find here. Guide to taming wargs. Wargs are smart, probably smarter than you, and never forget it. They'll hunt in packs, but only if they like each other. Best mix is some quiet types and other aggros. Keep each other calm-like. Never let them taste meat you don't want them to go for all the time. People never ever. Don't play favorites, they're very sensitive. I think we've looted this room. We're ready to go downstairs. I'm going to save it, and let's see if we don't have to move around all these boxes. Okay, we were able to... I was absolutely going to move those boxes around one at a time. DC 10, I mean, she basically just bangs her fist on it like the Fonz. It pops right open and says, "Thank you, ma'am." Underwater facility plans. They locked him up. Hey, that's better than most notes. Page after page within this book is covered with diagrams and schematics of a pressurized underwater research facility to be built in Grey Harbor atop the sunken stone structure of Saravok's Iron Throne headquarters. We were talking earlier with Kaz about Baldur's Gate 2 and Irenicus and such. I have to say, I don't really remember a lot about, like, the Iron Throne as, like, a Baldur's Gate thing. I feel like my brain has been taken over by Game of Thrones on that particular phrase. There's a bronze gate up there. It makes me concerned that we've seen and heard from nobody so far. $50 and aquatic labor. Prinsky. Oh, the item that was held by the guards at the foundry. They were using a tool called Prinsky's Motivator or something like that. The prefabricated parts for our underwater facility delivered from the Gondian foundry look like they'll do the job of completing what I'm referring to as the Iron Throne. To assist in construction, I'm sending you Darkbreaker Antiope, a renegade Umberlee mage who specializes in charming and controlling Sahagin? They said this word in the last episode, and now I don't remember. And just that easily, your underwater labor problems are solved. Okay, so there's an Umberlee mage who turned against the cult, or not the cult, the religion, whatever, who is able to control them, and those are like fishmen, mermen that can breathe underwater. That is a name that I recognize. Umberlee, less so. I'm holding shift.
Never wanted the easy path.
In sneak mode, it would usually show you if there's any red vision cones. Another batch of infernal iron. Ah, here we go. Here's the people. Avenge the drowned, and then what's over here? Oh, that goes out. And so does that. The long climb down, I'm not sure where that goes. Maybe that goes down into the basement? The tunnels? The sewers. The nice thing about Pass Without Trace is that it will remain on until... It's going to remain on until Will turns it off, or he casts something else or loses his concentration. So even if we go have a chat with that guy, we still get the benefit of it. Hold on. A schematic drawing of a metallic passenger submersible spans the many folding pages within this book. The bottom right of each page is watermarked with a representation of the Gondian House of Wonders. Redhammer's journal. Oh, this is the guy right over there. Blast and curse that Gortash for making this job so juicy I couldn't turn it down. How could I refuse the opportunity to build the cap from those Gondians' plans? Making Redhammer's signature improvements as I went along, of course. But this is far worse than just a smuggling job. I suspect there's torture going on in the throne, and I don't trust these Bainites as far as I can kick them. This is all going to end badly. I think I'd better complete that clockwork escape kayak. Pronto-like. There's a clockwork escape kayak. Now we have new topics of conversation to talk with them. I regret nothing about coming over here first. Let's pick this up, but we won't mark it as wares just yet. I want to ask him about the clockwork escape kayak.
Oi! What's this? You ain't supposed to be down here, mate.
A submersible. It matches the description of the vehicle that brought the Gondian hostages into the Iron Throne.
Boss, I'm going to check on the situation down here. I don't hate rogue deception. You killed one of those servants of Umberlee. I suspect that he legitimately doesn't know about that. If he rammed into some body while he was piloting the submersible. Looking for some hostages brought into the Iron Throne by an underwater passage. I have questions, you have answers. I like rogue deception. I feel like this is the correct thing. Yeah, based on his journal, he's working on this voluntarily. So I feel like he's going to feel like his payday is in threat if he finds out that we're not the people that should be down here. So we're going to be deceptive. 10. Can we... No, it's too late. I should have brought Jaheira down and done inspiration. Oh, thank God.
No news is good news, right? Especially with the rough water between here and the Iron Throne. No prisoners lost in the last batch of runs either, though them servants of Umberlee are making the trip damn near deadly. Bloody salt is always flopping around in the water. I've almost hit one or two now. Might have even nicked one off the port bow the other day. Maybe that'll teach them to keep out of the way.
Speaking of, you killed one of those servants of Umberlee, now they want you dead.
Oh, yeah? And are you here to make good on that?
I was hoping to get a little bit more information. You killed someone, you need to face justice. Here's the trouble. Who am I to say that? We kill people all day long. How do I feel about him killing somebody with a submarine? So, absent other information, he basically pulled... Well, so he did a hit and run, but even based on what he just said, he thinks he might have nicked one. Maybe he's just being ultra flippant about it, but like I said earlier, if you're in a submarine and you hit like a man-sized object, you're probably not even going to realize that. It's just going to be a plink off the outer hull. So there's no reason to assume that he even knew about it. He... Based on his dialogue so far, he's not aiming for them or anything else. And this kind of plays into it. Remember what the Umberlee people were like? They were euphoric over the fact that one of their friends got the opportunity to drown, died by drowning. They were so into it. Now, yeah, they wanted vengeance for it, but also they just didn't actually seem, I don't know, they seemed kind of cool about the whole thing. So who am I to come down here and kill this guy for any of that? If he was like a big jerk about it, yeah, I killed her and I thought it was really funny, then yeah, I might have something to say about it. But why don't we barter for what do you know about the Iron Throne?
You're testing me. All right. It's an underwater prison. most secure in the realms. Myself and Cap are the only ones who can make it there in one piece. Lord Gortash keeps some Gondians there. Collateral to keep those working in the Steelwatch Foundry under control.
Actually, that's another thing. I didn't think of this a second ago, but I can't pilot a submarine. My character lives in the woods. She sleeps in trees. She doesn't know anything about running a submarine, and I have to say, I don't think Jaheira is up for it either. So we kind of need this guy to ferry us back and forth. If you take me to the Iron Throne, I can forget that I saw you. I'm getting... How do we feel about telling him the plan? You're as guilty as the people who imprisoned the Gondians. You killed someone, you need to face justice. I'm inclined to be very direct. I'm going to get the prisoners out. Then again, he does seem very transactional. I'll tell you what, we're going to say I could forget that I saw you, but I need to note, our deal here should be a trip to and from. Yeah, I could forget that I saw you. The trouble is, if we tell him we're going to get the prisoners out, then he's going to know that's the plan. He might run and tell others. So I could forget that I saw you.
Bloody mermaids. I'll take you in, but look, there's some bad shit going down in there. You don't want to get involved. Neither did I, but it was them or me. I'll get Cap warmed up. Get in when you're ready.
This feels promising. As far as I know, we are ready to jump into the submersible. Are you sure you want to take the submersible? Why not?
Aren't you the intrepid little adventurer, digging and diving where you don't belong?
Well, this sucks. All of that stealth and subterfuge for nothing. I'm here to rescue the hostages. And we might as well, at this point. What is this place? Fuck you. Let the hostages go. Cut the crap. Whatever you're hiding down here, I'm going to take it. So I actually like cut the crap. I go where I choose, and I'm curious about what's down here. I know exactly what's down here, but remember that Gortash believes that he's cut a deal with us, and if we can sell this as idle curiosity from a fellow misanthrope, maybe he won't necessarily... I'm not even kidding. Maybe he'll offer us the tour. I go where I choose, and I'm curious about what's down here.
Ha! Are you now? Set foot within the Iron Throne, and you will die, as will all the hostages inside.
Turns to the Gondian hostages, bound in fear, their futures hanging by a thread in Gortash's web.
Wait, what? How would we ever rescue them then? We were super secret coming down here. We killed a bunch of dogs. There were no alarms. And now on the way in, Gortash knows that we're here and is going to kill all of the hostages if we dock. That leaves us with the option of turning around. If we turn it around, then what we can do is go blow up the foundry, which was our original plan, at which point the dude isn't going to help us anymore, because this is what I'm just trying to think through what even are our options, because remember that the engineer at the foundry said, I can help you shut down the Seal Watch, and all you have to do is rescue all the Gondian hostages first, which is why we're here. If there's a way to shut down the Seal Watch with less death and destruction, especially of the Gondians that are not willing participants in this, that's what I wanted to do. But now that we're down here, Gortash immediately tags us and says, no, you can't do it. Which implies that the next task should be to kill Gortash with the Steel Watch guys surrounding him. Let's think that through. we go and we confront Gortash now with the full weight of the Steel Watch around him. We do have a couple grenades. I might even buy another one. Hypothetically, we make it through that. Then we can take the submersible down here, rescue the hostages, because presumably he won't have left them a note, and then we can shut down the rest of the Steel Watch. I have to say, I care way less about the Steel Watch. I mean, I do care about them. They're zombies in armored mechs, but the whole reason I wanted to shut them down was to get at Gortash. I feel like we have to turn around. We have to turn around. Turn the submersible bound and retreat.
Wise. I'll see you soon.
This is very, very disappointing. On our way to the Iron Throne, Gortash warned us to turn back or he would destroy the prison. If we leave, then we will abandon the Iron Throne prisoners to their fate. I don't understand. We discovered a secret dock beneath the warehouse in a submersible. This must be the way to the underwater prison. We found the warehouse. It seems like the Bayonites are using a type of submersible. Here's the reason that I take his threat seriously. He's got a button that'll do it. It's just a button. It's not like he has to initiate the purging mechanism and then march them all, to the chamber. He just presses the button and their collars go off. I think we have to go fight Gortash. Here's what I'm thinking. We fight Gortash. I don't know how we do that without the Bayonites falling out. I don't know why step one of that plan wouldn't be to kill all the Gondians if he feels like he's about to lose control. But the only thing that makes sense to me right now is that we go do the hard mode fight against Gortash, then we can come rescue the hostages. God, I am not enthusiastic about this plan. But we did also see how effective those grenades are against the Steel Watch. It's much more than I was expecting. There is one more thing that we can check. Don't forget that we have that other, slimy crawl down. Let's go see what that is. Lower city sewers. Right. So this is... Investigate Cazador's palace. I haven't been pursuing Cazador yet. We want to go get a Starian for that. But also the... Raphael. I'm hoping to run into the Diabolist that apparently knows something about him. We haven't made that connection yet. Maybe go talk to the High Harper. You know what? Hypothetically, if I needed to sneak into some place like the Iron Throne, I would definitely want to be friends with a whole bunch of thieves. We tracked the last group of refugees your husband was known to be traveling with. I'm sorry to tell you that they seem to have crossed paths with the Absolute's forces, and there's been no record of them since. Don't waste yourself on grieving. You fled Elturel to find a better life for you both. It's still yours for the taking. The guild always needs knife hands, and you won't ever go hungry in my employ. I've included a small pouch, enough to buy a small funeral and close that chapter of your life, or a short binge before you need to go looking for work again. The choice is yours. NF, which I assume is 9 fingers. And this is Darrow Vin. And Darrow Vin was surrounded by a large number of empty sleeping potions. So I don't think it takes a lot of imagination to figure out what they decided to do. This kobold has a map to the sewers. A filthy tattered map of the sewers, realized in uneven scraggly lines. There's an area marked with an X. Next to this says, Bug Thimble, Dragon, Tribe Treasure.
Cursed to put my hands on everything. It's packed too tight. I'll need a shovel.
Wait, do we not have a shovel? Huh. Interesting. Jaheira is our in with 9 fingers. She appears to know 9 fingers and also the Stone Lord, who some other documentation has led me to believe is probably Minsk. That was one of the... It was like a hotel register or something that said that the Stone Lord is in the company of a mouse. And I know of one person in Baldur's Gate who does that. It matches up with everything else. We've got Jaheira with us. I think we go downstairs. Well, these things aren't immediately hostile. Grease method. Yep, that's all that stuff. And then this is... Oh, well, it's a cache, but yeah, we need a shovel for that. I'm going to keep an eye out for a new shovel. Let's go have a chat with these guys. Maybe they won't be so bad.
What's this, cousin? Another absolutist come to see what we did to poor old Sarin. Your god took her mind, cultist, so Bereki took her head, and I burned the flesh from her bones. And now you come to interrupt the funeral rites. Yes, cousin. An excellent idea. Cousin says we will take you in return. He says you look just like kindling for Sarin's funeral pyre.
I'm not with the absolute. Cousin looks like he fell out of an aboleth's arse. Are you sure you're related? I haven't gotten the slightest idea who you are or what you're talking about. No need for violence. Just tell me what happened to your friend. I'm between 3 and 4. Neither one of them is a persuasion roll. This guy seems awfully mad about stuff. I think if I say no need for violence, he'll think that I'm stalling for time. And also, my character does err towards the blunt. I haven't the slightest idea who or what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. Sarin, Bereki, and I made our coin by going unnoticed. The finest thieves in the city. Until we messed with Gortash and he sent the cult after us. Your fellow cultists hunted us, so we hid down here. We were safe, and so was our loot, until the darkness soured Sarin's mind. She kept our treasure from us, said Bereki and I had gone strange. Hush, cousin. Sarin turned into a cultist herself, so we did what we had to. Bereki wept until his voice was gone. And then he was gone too, leaving only me to conduct Sarin's rites. And my cousins here. You cannot conduct the rites without a clan to bear witness. Or some fuel for the fire.
Alright, the more this guy talks, the less convinced I am that he is in control of his faculties. I still think that we go for persuasion. I'm not a cultist, and I don't think your friend was either. Your paranoia turned you against one another. Just to be sure, let's do a bit of guidance. And also, I mean, what if, let's get... Oh. Okay, hold on. I want our characters to be basically ready to go.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, hold on. Corvus and Snips can come over here as well. Persuasion. I'm not a cultist, and I don't think your friend was either. That is not enough. And I don't think we have any more inspiration. I'll say this. I burned some inspiration convincing a woman not to fight us, and we learned all about an awesome dragon. So, hopefully, that was worth it.
No, no, no. You are so deep in the Absolute's power, you do not even know it yourself. Just like Sarin.
I really didn't want to have a fight with them. So this is cool. Is this... I think Jaheira might have a set of boots that do this. Yes. When the wearer stands in water during combat, becomes electrified. If they start their turn on an electrified surface, they gain 3 lightning charges. So that is happening because of that. There are many methods. Let's see if we can learn anything about these guys. Weak to fire. Death Burst Force. When a Mephit dies, it explodes with a force that deals 2 to 12 force damage to all creatures within 2 meters. We gotta kill these guys at range. We've got 3 moves before they get any, and then they get a lot of moves. So let's put down a lot of fire. Jaheira, did you pack any fire? Not necessarily. However, she could probably bring up a... Yeah, the Azer. That guy'll help. Who gets to go first? Also, where are all of these Mephits? There's a lot up here. And I see like 2. It's timeout. This person isn't even in the same zip code. Wait, where are you? Oh, we're... For some reason, I thought that we were having a conversation down here. Yeah, there's a whole mess of stuff happening up here. Okay, so then let's summon that Azer. Not Woodland Being, sorry. That's her action. And then for her bonus... I'm not sure that I want to burn a level 4 spell slot to get a Grasping Vine that doesn't actually do all that much. However, to keep her standing in her electrified water seems fine, so we're just going to do that. Karlach. You're also... Oh, you know what else Karlach has that we've never done? She's got that wand of close-range fireballing. It's like a broken one. Yeah, it's this guy right here. It's got a range of melee, and it lights off a fireball. And I gave it to her because she has fire resistance. So I think that we might want to have her run around and do that. Just making sure that we've got that. There's lots of grease here that I don't want to fall in. We could... We can just jump here without walking in grease, so I feel like this is our best option. And then... Yeah, hopefully she doesn't slip doing this. Oh, and you know what? I think that she... Oh, wait, I was going to say she does Frenzy, but no, we can't because we just use her bonus action to jump. Ow. Can we do an arrow on this guy? Step off the grease. Maybe get right over here, switch back to axe, end turn. Ilyssa. Well, now I'm really glad that we bought some more fire arrows because let's do some of this. The Azer is not going to care very much about getting the fire on him. Hold on, I wasn't actually looking... Okay. Sure. Hopefully that's good for us. I just don't have any idea of what kind of collateral damage that will have had. Do I do another fire arrow? I think I do, because this guy's going to take double damage from fire. Bonus action. Well, I guess for the time being, we'll probably put our Hunter's Mark on this guy. Only because the other guy only has 1 hit point and he's on fire, so I think he dies at the start of his turn. We could also consider moving, but we are currently on a standing on it. Oh, you guys, you know what I have forgotten to do ever since episode 1? We can dip our bow in fire. I always forget that, and I only remember it between episodes, but let's see if we can dip weapons in the fire. That's Ilyssa. Fireball on 4 targets. Let's please counterspell that. Yeah, thank you, Will. Corvus. Let's bring Corvus. Yeah, Corvus can reach every destination. He's everywhere you want to be. I think the fire gets applied at the start of his turn, so I'm not going to worry about that guy. Can we do Bad Omen on this dude? No. And I'm really not sure. Does Corvus? No, Corvus doesn't take any fire damage. Yeah, we'll take the attack that we can, and otherwise just hang back a bit. I think somebody else died because we just got some hit points. The next Reef Mephit is over here, which is a completely different location. I would prefer it if Will could continue concentrating on Pass without Trace. So we're going to try to preserve that, and hey, if we can't, we can't. Let's see if we can hit that guy and this guy twice. Aside from that, I'm going to try to get out of the electro juice. Fuck. Okay, but he did pass his concentration check. So we'll just have him hang out back here for a second. Are these guys... Wait, these guys appear to be spawning. Are they adding more? They might be coming out of the grease balls. I didn't examine the grease balls yet. This... Okay, no, that had nothing to do with me. Wait, let's look at grease ball real quick. It's burning, blind sight, dark vision. It doesn't say anything about these guys spawning Mephits, but I feel like we saw one appear. Anyway, the Azer is pretty comfortable walking on the fire. Can he dip his weapon? It doesn't look like it. I will absolutely work on knocking this enemy prone if we can. Wait, he's immune to prone and also fell straight over. What? I'm just saying that it's prone, so we did it. And do we get another attack? No. Let's do our overheat, which does fire damage. And that probably... Well, then we'll pull back. Let's just put our back against the wall so that they can't hit him as readily. Oh no, Snips. Don't walk in the lightning. I think Snips is going to stay right where he is. Like, there's too much fire. I like Crab. Everybody else likes Crab. Snips probably would prefer to remain uncooked for now. We're going to respect his wishes on this one. I would like to know the percentage of players that do not immediately have this entire place on fire. This just feels like the default way that this fight is going to go every time. Jaheira is currently... She's concentrating on guidance, and that time has come and gone. So we could put down some spike growth back here, and that would stop those guys from advancing. I'm trying to work out how much I care about them advancing. Can we hit them with an arrow? Yes? Okay. How do these guys feel about being poked? There's slashing resistance, but... I'm so sorry. Arrows are piercing, aren't they? Yeah. Okay, so they're not resistant to this. I don't have any Well, hold on. Plant growth, we just slow them down. What ranks? This is rank 3, though. Okay, yeah, maybe this is a bad idea. But we will... What are your things? I don't want to pull them closer. I don't want to put out the fire. Oh, I do want to firebolt them. Yes, perfect. You guys, that was 66 points of damage. These guys have a total bar of 52. That was awesome. And then I guess she could make an offhand attack, except she can't. I don't want to do Grasping Vine. No, let's just have her continue to stand in the electrified water. Oh, can you dip your... Yes, dip. Dip weapon. How is that not a dippable surface? It's full of electricity. Okay. I thought electricity was good for her. Whatever. Karlach. I am thinking that now we rage. Yes. There's so many guys. Frenzy. And I would like to have that wand handy. Can you provoke attack of opportunity? Oh, hold on. We could jump over there, but that also will provoke an attack of opportunity. This is what this wand was meant for. Like, I really want to do this. Can we dip? No, because we just used our bonus. So, yeah, what we'll do is we're gonna... Casting spells is blocked. Wait, why? I wonder if it's because she's raging. It could be that simple. Okay. Okay, then we don't do that. And then we'll come over here and hit him. That's her turn. Alyssa. I would like to throw some... Well, hold on. Let's get our hunter's mark on this guy. Corvus doesn't go for another round. I think that we... So if she stands right here, I want to make sure that she doesn't walk into the fire. 56%. We could also do her... Turn off her mega shot. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure that that's not currently on. Or that it is currently on, rather. It is. Okay, that's good. So we're going to do her fire shot. Because, look, this is a 90% shot. It's not going to bother the Azer. And it is going to light up that other slime ball right next to him. And I think the guy behind as well. I think it will.
You've made a grave mistake.
Critical miss. That sucks. I'm going to do it again, then. I really want to dip her weapon, but as long as we're using the bonus action to move around Hunter's Mark, that's why I haven't. We got to get to that guy. Corvus. Let's do Bad Omen on this guy. And then pull back slightly. He doesn't have a lot of hit points. He's no weakling, but let's try to keep him safe. We've had to do a lot of adventuring lately without the benefit of Corvus because he'll get killed at some point and he's not free. Okay, and there goes our concentration from the electrified, I think. All right, let's dip in surface.
Goes.
For what that's worth. Now, I don't want him running around in the... Okay. in the fire as long as we can stop it. So let's just stand back here. Oh, we could also do fire shield. Give him resistance against fire damage. I think that this is absolutely the time to do that. So let's give him resistance to... Hold on. You deal 2 to 16 fire damage. Anybody that hits you with a melee attack. And only... Wait, no, only half damage from all cold damage. Oh, we have to choose. Well, then I definitely want him to be resistant to fire, because we're going to have to run around on this stuff. Either that, or we do have a lot of water, and we could put it out wherever he wants to land, but that feels like it's going to take a really long time. I don't know. Suddenly I'm rethinking about what I was going to do. Let's, hold on. Also, we're not currently on, like, non-lethal or anything, are we? No. Okay. It's only a matter of time until one of those hits. Azer. Let's move Azer as far as we can without invoking the attack of opportunity, and then we're going to do overheat. And then we could do a bonk, daze your target, lose their dexterity bonus. This guy doesn't seem very dexterous to us, though. Weakening strike, but this guy I don't think is carrying a weapon. And then searing smite. He's already on fire, though. Is this an everyday thing? This is... It looks like it's once per battle. So let's save searing smite. And that's his turn. Snips, you just hang out. It's just now occurring to me that Karlach's axe is slashing damage, isn't it? And these guys are all resistant to that. Okay, she is... Lots of lightning charges. Let's do another fire blast. That last one was wonderful. Perfect. Yeah, Jaheira's got this back alley locked down, and there's more dudes coming, so I think that we just keep it rolling. Let me just double check. No, okay, this guy is not resistant to slashing damage. The grease balls, I think, are, so let's keep that in mind, and I'm probably going to immediately forget that. Invigorated Thrall means specifically... additional hit points based on the summoner's wizard level and additional damage based on the summoner's proficiency bonus. I still feel like our lead threat, though, is this dude. Plus, we get more damage on him because of Curse of the Dire Raven, or like a bonus. We can't cleave them because they're on other sides of us. 3 slashing damage? I don't think that's... Nah, I'll take it. We'll take prepare. And she should have like a bonus throw. Wait, I kind of want to dip her weapon because I haven't done that. I should have done that first. Get a good flaming axe. Alyssa, let's dip your own weapon now. Haven't used this mechanic in 37 episodes. Literally, I think it's been since the first episode. If we shoot this, it explodes, but I still feel like it does less damage than it will if it attacks Karlach and then explodes later. And then maybe we can harass this guy. Even our basic attacks right now do have like fire attached to it. Is that really it? We don't have anything else to follow up? No, man, that's it. Thank God this guy's coming down to us. Counterspell, yes please. You guys, I kind of want to see if we could knock him into the water. Because it would be A, funny, and probably end the fight pretty quickly. But I also want whatever he's got. Like, this is going to be an expensive fight for us. I don't want to lose that opportunity. We can't quite get Dire Raven on him. How much damage is Dire Raven? It's 2 to 8. No, 2 to 16. So we might actually kill here. And then, again, just out of sight, out of mind. If you can't dip in electrified water, and I was just sort of thinking that that was like a magical D&D thing, I wonder what the other dippable surfaces are, aside from just like fire. Maybe grease itself. Maybe you can dip in grease. Will has lost his concentration. I feel like I want Will to square off against this guy. And yeah, with Azer locking down a big section of that, let's do his... We're going to do this. His shield. And we're going to take half damage from fire. And then I think that we just run forward or we dash. Not Misty Step, just regular dash. Am I missing it? Where's his dash? Oh, right, dash is an action for most people. It's not for like Astarion and Corvus. We can't really flourish. I also could have taken that elixir, but don't worry about it. Challenge to duel. Yes, let's challenge this guy to a duel. Okay, I'm just identifying who is concentrating on the heat metal. This guy's one of them. The Azer is here. Azer's taking a lot of damage, but he's also doing a great job of holding these guys right where they are. Overheat. And he also is doing slashing damage. Is that accurate? No, he's doing bludgeoning damage. Oh, that's great. Let's... Yeah, I'm not going to take any attacks of opportunity. Let's see if we can... Since he's almost done, let's do a Searing Smite on Grease Elemental. Try to finish that guy off. Perfect. And now you just keep holding the line. It's a lot of heat metal on Karlach. Okay, I think Azer just went down. Snips, you continue to sit it out. Wait, a great deal just happened. Everybody just got hit for a lot of fire damage. Karlach is okay, after a fashion. This guy died. I feel like a lot of people just died. Jahir was displaced? Wait, what does that even mean? Until you take damage, foes have it... Oh, right. That's her, like, her like shiver so that they can't see her as clearly. Okay, the magma method blasted Karlach, and then everybody else took a whole bunch of damage, presumably from that, but it was a lot all happening at once. We need to end some of these heat metals, so Will is kind of... I think Will might be in the blast radius. We're just going to have to accept that. Okay, who else do we have? That guy's too far away. That guy's too far away. This guy, we can try to end that heat metal. And that's basically her action. I guess she still has like a flaming blade, right? A flaming arrow? It looks like it is. So let's move our hunter's mark onto this guy, because his time comes up next. Now from there, if we can just be around the corner a little bit, that'd be great. Jaheira, how about some more flame blast? You guys, she is 3 for 3 on holding these stairs. Karlach. Karlach has taken a lot of damage. I like the idea of doing an enraged throw of a heavy stone at this guy. Awesome. And now... So she can't... She's going to have to... Wait. An attack of opportunity from who? That guy? Just walk around him. Oh my god. just hammer him directly in the stomach. That's her. Okay, again, I will have lost track. I just want to note that Karlach has probably taken at least double this amount of damage because she's fire resistant and just like shrugging it off. So, no, she's doing great. She is doing everything that we've asked of her. We can't hit that guy. Oh, we can hit this dude. Okay, and then pull back if you can. Will. Will is currently... Yes, still taking half damage. We need to catch that guy. We can't let him get away, so I don't want to knock him away. Let's see if we can do the challenge. Perfect. Well, that was only a 1 out of 3 shot, but now he's got to come over. I don't know that he's compelled to melee attack, but now he's going to have a rough time of it. Now, Will, do we want to do Blade Ward? That's bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage, and he's already taking half damage from the fire, so this feels like a reasonable way to... Oh, you guys, we could have done Fiendish Resilience and gotten the same thing. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. We're going to take Blade Ward. And let him come to us, I hope. This just comes from me not necessarily remembering everybody's cool abilities. These are grease guys. Oh no, these are magma boys. Okay, I wasn't necessarily paying attention to the fact that they weren't all grease. It's a rookie mistake, actually. Let's have Snips wait. As far as I know, nobody else is coming up the stairs, so let's see if we can just move Jaheira into striking distance. And the magma guys, they can't, like, chill damage very much, right? Wait, no. I wanted one of the magma methods. Yes, cold vulnerability. So can we do some Ray of Frost on them? I really want to hit that guy back there. Do we have no path on him at all? No. Look, he's like just behind that this guy. We can't hit him, but we can get this guy. And can we do... I'm just trying to think about what to do with Karlach and the healing at this stage. I think we're pretty far back. We're just going to... Not enough movement. How far can you move, though? Oh, right, because she did come up here. Yeah, we'll get behind the post. Karlach. So, this guy is still concentrating on heat metal. I feel like Alyssa can take care of that. So why don't we try to end Greaseball? And is this guy one of the concentrators? He is. It's a lot of blowing up right in her face. And then let's do another. I loved knocking that guy prone. We're going to try to do that again. And then, yeah, get right up next to him. I know you can't reach the destination. I just want you to shoot with your arrow. Nope. Okay, we'll just move in slightly. All right, if that failed, then our next shot has to count. So we're going to go for the ice arrow. And her mega shot is still on, but I need to do as much damage as possible. All right, I'll take it. That's fine. And a lot of this fire has gone out, so I think that we can begin bringing Alyssa up to be in position to strike the wizard. Okay, bro was compelled to duel, and either he couldn't or wouldn't move closer, so I feel like we got away with that. Let's do Bad Omen on this guy. Should kill him outright. Will. He is compelled to duel me. I am not compelled to duel him. Nonetheless. Snips. Jaheira. I'm not sure if Jaheira's got a shot from where she is. She's got a regular arrow shot, but can you do like a well, this guy's immune to burning, so maybe we'll try for Ray of Frost. Karlach. I think this will put it down. This will end it, won't it? And the only thing is that, like, when combat ends, they love to run around, and I'd really like it if they didn't run into the fire. Okay. Karlach took a lot of damage, which is what we pay her to do. Like, this is correct for her. But we're gonna have to do something to get her back up and healing, and I don't like burning all of my potions every time, so we will consider that here in just a second. Fires are out. Let's wander around. I'm very, very aware of the level up, but we will... Let's make sure that we get these guys first. So here we have some capture orders. The wizard is a lunatic who already murdered one of his close companions out of sheer paranoia. It is likely none would believe his tale of the tadpoles no matter what truth we saw. But end him all the same. Orn will brook no failure when we are so close, and even so, lost a soul will make a fine offering to our Lord. Well, I feel like this skeleton does not have a head, from what I can see. But I didn't bring one of those. I didn't know that this would be coming up. I didn't realize we had a crafting. There was a crafting mission down here. Skull? Hold on. Head. No. All right, so let's just make a quick note on the map, maybe, that there is a headless skull. I really do want to be careful about where we are exploring. This is me, yes? And then that would go over to the cache. So that's where we came from. Oh, yeah, actually, I think we came up and around here. And then that's another thing. Oh, you guys, we were headed towards Nine Fingers. Probably down there, then. I will take every bonus every time. In his right mind or not, I would have liked to have talked that guy out of the fight. Scorched book. I wonder how it got burned. A barely legible journal. The page is marred by scorch marks and blood. Latest score belonged to Enver Gortash. Tried to lay low with Scorval's crew, but he's lost it. Lumped in with this cult, says Gortash will find us wherever we go. Saren knows a place in the sewer. Saren's not acting right. She's hidden the score, says we've been acting crazy. She's not wrong about Beresky, hunched in the corner, muttering prayers as if the old gods can ward off this absolute. Shook some sense into Beresky, and he agrees. Saren, trust her. She's the only one who knows the way in and out of here. If she's with the cult, betray, no choice, we'll make it clean. No clues there on how to deal with the missing head, or why it's missing a head, for that matter. Just gonna get that out to the camp so that we don't have to tote it around. Well, we're gonna head in this direction. We're working our way over to the east. This is not marked as a bad thing to do. Sigh. Okay. No, everybody get out. Corvus! Are you okay? Corvus is fine. And we lost our hunter's mark. That's okay. I mean, we have more of it. It's not... we're not hobbled for the rest of this until a short rest, but it's just a lot. Okay. Alyssa, can you maybe give us the heads up about the traps? We're gonna go into group sneak mode. What is this? No.
Let us try not to trip headlong through it, yes?
This was a lousy hallway for us. Okay, refugee Calthy. Yeah, this death hallway has now connected us with some refugees. We are no enemies to the refugees. Wait! What? Wait, stop! Hold on. We have to get down there.
Time to press ahead. What's this? A heretic in our midst? Your death in the Dreadlord's name.
Okay, I want them shooting at us and not the refugees, and that's what we've done. There is an oil barrel there. Let's make use of that. Jaheira, can you light that oil barrel on fire for me? That is most of her turn. Yeah, we're going to get her back behind something. Even this fabric would be great.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Okay, Alyssa. Okay, we'll help out Corvus in a second. So, Alyssa. Alyssa can jump up here. And then she's going to have the best shots against this guy down here. So why don't we make sure that her mega shot is on, and she's going to shoot this guy. And it's just that we're not going to be able to do very much to her with just our one shot. This guy, however, we might actually kill, especially if we go for a blade swipe. Okay, double kill for Alyssa. That is her entire turn. Corvus. Oh, Corvus could have gone. I would have gone with him as well. Let's have him fly up here. We're going to go for Bad Omen on that lady. And then hopefully be back and out of the way. Okay, these guys are no threat to us. I just don't know why they're glowing red. Oh, because they're frightened. Yeah, no, I bet they are. Let's see if we can make them feel better about this whole deal. We cannot jump. Okay, this is as absolutely far as we can make it. And then from here, we don't have an enrage throw, but we do have a regular throw. Let's throw a rock at her. Appears to have missed. And that's her. Will. In a perfect world, we knock her down. Since we are not going to have an angle to do that. Yeah, going down is only going to make our odds of hitting worse. So we'll come up here. Let's see if we can Eldritch Blast her a little bit. And then snips. Once again, with all of the fire down there, it doesn't seem like a great option. Maybe we can draw some fire onto Snips and away from the refugees. If she takes even one shot at Snips that doesn't go towards a refugee, we'll have done a good job. I'm going to start with Corvus, because Corvus has guaranteed damage. Was that a maximum damage roll? Receives condition, yes, but what? Bad Omen is 2d8. Yeah, no, he did 16 points of damage. Good on Corvus, look at that. This person can't have that much more in them. Do we just do a regular stab? I probably should have. Let's not move her yet, because I do think that Jaheira can help out here. Jaheira, I don't think we really need more fire, but how are you with your bow? 51%, or if we did do her... Okay, it's 51%. Let's just do her bow, then.
Blood comes easy these days.
Karlach. Man, Karlach, do we have to ask you to run around in the fire some more? You know, we didn't get to do her broken wand of fireballs. I really thought that was going to be an awesome thing that we could do there, but no, we ran out of time. Let's do a dash. And then even if it means catching on fire, we're really going to be ready for him. Will. Wait. Perfect. I don't know what that click is. Oh, wait, there's some sort of a trap or something. Felix is asking about leveling up. I'd like to do that after we get to talk to Nine Fingers. Like, when we arrive is what I'm thinking. So, it is possible that I burned the ladder. We'll probably just go to the upper level and then jump across. Or, better yet, we go back and south, since it turns out that I took a wrong turn. Yeah, let's just head back. I hope we get clarity on what happened to those refugees, because as soon as I saw them just, like, having a shooting gallery, I was like, just forget the tactics, just go in, right now. Okay, having returned to the open world, I think that this is going to have to be where we call it for this episode. I was really hoping to make the acquaintance of Nine Fingers, but I'm simply not sure how to get there from here. I will not attempt to resolve that between here and the next episode, but that'll be our next task. We're going to go talk to Nine Fingers. We're going to see if we can interact with her about her issues with the Stone Lord, and I have a feeling that that's going to bring two characters that are important to Jaheira together. I may also be wrong. It's possible that the Stone Lord is out there just sort of aping Minsk's like whole deal and like really being enamored of a mouse, but it just feels like conservation of characters means that they are one and the same, and I was hoping to have that conversation today, but we hit some dead ends down in the sewers alongside some really entertaining fights, so we'll have to see what the next episode brings to us. I'm relieved that this episode made it from start to finish so smoothly, but we're going to call it here, and with a little bit of luck, we will see you guys again for the next episode of Baldur's Gate 3 in just a few days. Until next time, you guys, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great night.